The first pro with the 2023 ID.4 is going to be how quiet and comfortable it is. This EV is so smooth over just about every type of road. You know, large bumps, small bumps, not an issue. There's no strange jostling effect when you go over various types of terrain. So your occupants, they're not bobbing up and down or being thrown around to one side of the vehicle to the other when you're taking your everyday left-hand, right-hand turns. There's a good sense of security here. Coupled with that great ride quality and refinement, it just makes for a nice, smooth daily driver. Now, the con is going to be, well, this thing drives as bland as it looks. As I mentioned before, the capabilities are there, it handles decently, but it just has no life to it when you drive it. Some of you may not care about that. I just thought I would mention it to you. It's literally one of the most soulless experiences that I've ever had, but it's just like, you can't really complain either because it's not doing anything bad. As I mentioned before, it's smooth, it's quiet. Out on the highway, there's great stability. Your everyday handling maneuvers feel good. It's just not exciting to push this thing. If you don't care about that, great. Take advantage of its really refined characteristics. And I did mention the looks there. Looks are subjective, but if you like a more incognito vehicle that's not pretentious, then you might like the ID.4. But if you're looking for something more exciting, then this ID.4 might not be it for you. The next pro is going to be with this interior space. I like how solid it is. That's a huge advantage over something like the Tesla Model Y. I like the build quality. I like the solidity of the doors when you open and close them. The seats are extremely comfortable, and I like the way they look as well with this brown leather and this gray fabric material. The interior actually has a bit of character because of this. So well done on the design there. But the con is going to be they really went extra with the electronics in here. They're tampering with things that don't need to be tampered with, like this gear lever knob. I mean, that's not the worst thing. You can get used to that. It's just strange not having a start-stop button. You just get in here, put the thing into drive, and then put your foot on the gas, and then you're off. And then once you're done, you just press the park button, and then you just leave the vehicle. There's nothing to turn on or off. The vehicle does it automatically for you. But the main con is going to be with this 12-inch infotainment screen, which they made standard for all the 2023 ID.4s. To access your fan speed, you actually have to go into the infotainment, and there's also no volume knob here. You actually have to rely on these touch haptic buttons, which I don't mind the touch haptic buttons here. I think VW did a pretty good job with that. In fact, on the steering wheel, you actually can press in on these touch haptic buttons as if it were a real button. So I don't mind that per se. It's just this over reliance on this infotainment. You really have to get used to this system and where everything is within its various menus. It's literally going to take a few days for you to be accustomed to this. Same thing with the mirror controls with this interior space. Other than that, everything else was really good. I do like the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I haven't had any issues with that. This little 5.3 inch, I believe, digital gauge cluster. It's easy to use and it looks kind of cute, if you will. But a pretty big pro here is going to be with this 7-speaker audio system. This is just the regular bass audio and it sounds pretty excellent. The clarity is there, the bass is good. I am shocked at how good this audio system is. So that's a good thing. You don't have to overpay for this product, and that's good because I don't want to overpay for this. This is the Pro rear-wheel drive trim level, so this is the one I would recommend going with, the Pro, because you get the slightly larger battery pack. This is still the rear-wheel drive model, so this is the vehicle that's going to have the longest range. But this particular model can travel 275 miles on a single charge. So the audio is great. I will mention another quick con here. Initially, I did not like the brake pedal in this. They did not do a good job of calibrating it. It's very difficult to modulate in stop and go traffic. In fact, it's pretty annoying dealing with that brake pedal. So the fix for that is, instead of putting this ID.4 into drive, put it into the B mode. And that will initiate the regenerative braking capabilities of this ID.4. And now there's no issues with the brakes. You let the car do its thing. The regenerative braking is perfect. It's not quite a one pedal drive, but I don't care about that. Your reliance on the brake pedal is significantly reduced when you travel in the B mode. So that's the way I like to drive this, and if you do that, you won't have any real issues daily driving this vehicle. Another huge pro with just about every VW product, it's going to be the sheer amount of rear legroom space. You can be well over 6 feet tall getting in and out of this, not a problem. Your headroom, your leg room in this, absolutely fantastic. It is so comfortable for your passengers. The trunk is also massive, and you can open up the various flaps, and you have even more storage space, which is good because you don't quite have a front trunk. In fact, when you open up the front there, it looks like it's got a whole engine underneath, but it doesn't. So no front trunk space, but fortunately the rear is very practical. But you do not get a spare tire with this, which is certainly a con. You just get a fix-a-flat kit. Just something for you to be aware of. Another pro, it's going to be with the safety of these products. This ID.4, it's an IIHS top safety pick. All the safety features work really well in here, so you can be rest assured you can carry your family around in absolute safety and comfort. But the final con I'm going to mention, it's going to be the fact, well, this is an EV, full electric vehicle, and that's not going to work out for everyone, unfortunately. This Pro model that I'm testing here, this has the best range at 275 miles. When you go with the all-wheel drive for an extra $5,000, that model is going to drop in range to 255 miles, but it is much quicker than what we have here. With the all-wheel drive, you get dual motors and you get 295 horsepower. The 0 to 60 on that is around 5.5 seconds versus 7.5 for this rear-wheel drive Pro model. Again, speed is not really the point in purchasing the ID.4, but I just thought I would mention that to you. If you live in a cold climate area, then your range is going to suffer even more. So living with a pure EV is just still not practical yet. You will definitely need to own your own charger in your house or in your own apartment, and ideally you will have your own charger at your workplace as well, because if you try to use this for long distance trips, you go to an Electrify America station with a fast public charger, this thing is going to take like over half an hour to charge up, from 10% up to 80%. Yeah, over half an hour. That's definitely not the most practical thing in the world. So if you purchase this, this is mainly going to be a city vehicle only. And for that, honestly, plug-in hybrids are the best. Also, if you just want to stay within the VW brand, then you can get the Tiguan. The Tiguan and the Golf are literally the two best VW products, honestly. The Tiguan is massive, and the 4-cylinder in that gets amazing fuel economy as well. Tiguan is going to be ultra practical, and you can get a well-equipped one for under $30,000. So if you want to stay in the VW brand, that's a great option to look into. That's my look at the ID.4. If you want to see my next video, it'll be on the end screen here. Click on it and I will see you there.